where in the heck does brown sugar come from? Well, let's find out. And if you've got these two ingredients, you'll always have all the brown sugar you could ever need. Let's get going. Brown sugar. Hey everybody, it's me, Hetty, and this is a remake of a very old video, well over 6 years old. And I just want to tell you something. People, there's nothing to brown sugar, okay? And if you have pure cane sugar and 100% molasses in your pantry at all times, you got all the brown sugar that you could ever want or need. Okay, you see, this is my big old thing. I usually make 5 pounds at a time. And so you've probably seen this in the background of some of my videos. But today, I'm just going to show you how simple it is. I'm going to make a light brown sugar, and then I'm going to come back in and make a dark brown sugar. It's so easy. If you've got, like I said, the sugar, the molasses, a nice mixing bowl, measuring cup for your sugar, and you can do it by hand. I have arthritis, I'm going to use my mixer. When I do 5 pounds, I use my stand mixer, but just for the little bit I'm going to show y'all, because as you can see, I'm far from out. But with the holidays approaching, I don't want people going, oh no, I got to go to the store, I forgot brown sugar. If you think ahead, and you keep something like this on hand, they have different brands. This kind I get these tall jars, but they sell in smaller jars, and that lasts you forever too. All right, let me get ready and get in position, and then we'll start. Okay, I've already put just one cup of sugar in, so you'll know the rule of thumb. This time I'm going to make a light brown sugar. So I've just got some molasses here, and the rule of thumb is for light per cup, it's 1 tablespoon of molasses. I'm actually going to put a couple of drops more because it's so thick it's hard to come out of the measuring spoon, so that'll be about right, I think. All right, and this is how easy it is. Yes, you can do this by hand. Like I've told y'all many times, I've got arthritis, so I'm going to do it this way. I'll go in on the molasses part. I'm just going to go slow, and it looks like a mess in the very beginning. I'm probably not going to do this real time because you don't want to sit here and watch me do this. Okay, so it is going to look messy like this in the beginning, but just keep going. Okay, I'll bring you back. I'll update you on my time. I'm also going to give you a little tidbit. Come in with just old dish towel. You know, don't let it fall in. Like maybe, rest it on the bottom of the bowl like that. And then it's not going to splatter on you. Otherwise, get a really deep bowl. I'm using a glass bowl so you can see better. So anyway, I'm going to continue on. But I do wrap a towel. I also wrap one on my stand mixer sometimes. Okay, back to mixing. Okay, thought I'd give y'all a little update. You can see I switched bowls. I was tired of messing with that glass. It was too shallow. And like I said, I've honestly gotten to where I use my stand mixer a lot. Because number one, I'm having to sit here and hold this. I've got arthritis really bad in my hands and my shoulders. So that is difficult at times too, especially it is pouring down rain at the moment, and this rain really gets me. Okay, plus all my new little fun things I'm dealing with. Anyway, as you can see, we're almost there. It's going to look like a mess in the beginning. You got to just keep going. As you're getting that, it's going to look like little pieces of molasses kind of get strewn in, and just slowly go up, go up, like that. And it's going to take you, depending on your mixer, this is literally an old cheapie that I've had. It's on its last legs. I want to get me one of those fancy ones that have a higher wattage. This one does not. The better your beaters are, the quicker this is going to come together. This is like nothing in my stand mixer. And guess what? I don't have to sit there and babysit it and worry about sugar flying all over the place. So anyway, I'm going to continue on. I'll give you my total time. Okay, it's been total from the second I started in between about 8.5, 9.5. Let's just call it 10. It wasn't 10 minutes, but I'm just going to say 10. Now, I want to tell you something. Some of the better mixers have those double, like those KitchenAid kind. They have the little whisk beaters. That is so much better for this. This is one of those cheap, I think, 1288 Black Deckers. There's that clock again. Anyway, as you can see, worth it. Better than me having to run out to the store. I really don't need any ideas for y'all. There's a couple of bits in there, but I'm gonna finish this before I put it up. Then I'll move on to the next video. So I'm gonna hit this, I don't know, another 30 or 40 seconds. Then I'm gonna call it a day, and then we're gonna move on to dark brown sugar, okay? So I'll bring you right back. Yeah, I went about another 30 seconds. It came together. All you're going to do is you're going to keep coming together until you don't see any little bits of molasses. It's a pain in the butt to do by hand. Ask me how I know. I do not recommend doing this by hand, okay? If you're determined, knock yourself out. I'm too old to be doing all that stuff anymore. You name it, I've done it already. So now, difference between light brown sugar and dark brown sugar is, you guessed it, double the molasses. So 2 tablespoons as opposed to the 1. Okay, so same technique. And what I usually do is I use my stand mixer. I don't know, nowadays, unless it's holiday or something, I normally don't do 5 pounds. And right now I don't need any. But I might do about 2 pounds worth, a few cups worth. And that way I just shove it in the stand mixer and I go on about my business. I come back and have perfect brown sugar. So if you have a stand mixer, by all means do that, okay? But we're gonna go back to, since I dirtied this up, I would switch, but I've already got everything dirtied up, so we're gonna go with this. So again, naturally come in slow. I always go in on the molasses side so I can pull it into the sugar, like that. And oddly enough, the dark brown sugar is easier to mix in than the light because there's more moisture to adhere to the sugar. So as you can see, look, you can see in the same amount of time, look how much further I've gotten. Okay, time constraints, I'll bring you back with an update. Now, it's only been 3 minutes, but I want you to see the difference, how much further this has already come along. And I was gonna tell you something funny. My youngest son, Noah, who's 19 now, but when he was little, he called this fluffy sugar. He liked to call it fluffy because he'd watch me make it. And he'd notice, he'd say, oh, it made more. Because it's going to be a nice heaping cup. And remember, in a lot of recipes, you pack the brown sugar anyway. So it's still a cup, but it does have the appearance that it's more fluffy. Okay, carry on. It's only been 3 minutes. I'll bring you back when I'm done. I'll give you the time. If you're doing it with this method, by far, the dark brown sugar's much easier to make. All right, I could probably go, and I'll probably off camera, I'll probably go another minute or so, but my time so far, it was about in between 6.5, 7.5 minutes. I did blank out for like 2 seconds, but it wasn't a minute, so I'm going to call it 30 seconds. Anyway, as you can see, look how easy it is. I totally recommend, if you got a stand mixer, good heavens, by all means use it. You name it, I've tried it in a blender, I've tried it in a food processor, and all I ended up with was a mess. So either be patient. You can use it, as you can see, I use the cheapest electric mixer, or I've got a full blast, fancy smancy KitchenAid stand mixer. It does everything but mow the lawn. And it's much easier than that, let me tell you. And I use my whisk attachment. So, if you're gonna do that, if you don't need a whole lot of it, make a few cups at a time, make it worth your while. But do make it. How many years have you been using brown sugar and you didn't even know how to make it or what was in it? Oh, this recipe needs brown sugar. I've got to get brown sugar. Okay, but like I said, if you have molasses in your pantry, it stays good forever, seems like. Not really, but, and like I said, they sell smaller jars of it. So give it a try. That way, if you ever forget brown sugar, you don't need it. You can just make it as you need it. Or like I said, make, get a mason jar, make 2 or 3 cups at a time, fill that mason jar up, and you're good to go for a while. That's several recipes. But anyway, some of that brown sugar, especially the cheap stuff, Got a lot of additives in it. So if you're looking to remove some additives, if I can speak today, this was pure cane sugar, 100% molasses. That's all you need. Okay, use this for your holiday baking. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember, like I was saying when I was talking about my youngest son, when he was little, he called it Fluffy. It does seem to increase in volume, but remember, in most recipes you pack it anyway, so it's still going to be a cut when you're said and done. I also want to, now I don't have my camera on the tripod, but I'm going to show you. Here's what I do. Now I'm doing this one-handed. I usually just take a damp paper towel or a rag, and I do this with the top off. I go around, you know, kind of like if you were canning, which I don't know how to do. I want to learn. You know how you wipe your rims? So wipe your rims, and then after you put the lid on, come back over and wrap the whole thing wipe the whole thing with a paper towel, and then you won't have a sticky mess. Okay? So there you have it. That's brown sugar.